In this lesson, we're going to take a look at some keyboard shortcuts that we can use to quickly move between errors that may exist in our code. So of course the Eclipse IDE will give us the errors as we try to run our program or try to compile, or even as we have our code as we're typing it, we'll see little red squiggly lines existing. So let's look at pair.java, and let's just change the constructor so that it doesn't work by placing a Z in front of it. Now in this case, I'm going to go ahead and save the file so that if I try to run, hopefully the program will be broken. I'm also going to go into Password Data Editor, and once again, inside of Password Data Editor, let's change the constructor by placing a Z in front of it, and then let's do a couple other things to break this code. For example, at line 72, let's change that call to display item so that it doesn't work, and then maybe at line 105 here, let's remove this S from set bounds. So now we have a few errors. We'll go ahead and save that again. Now if we look, we can see in our problems down here, we have 6 error items. And we could easily start double-clicking to move between each one. So that's one way we can do that. But another way that we can do this is we can use the Control, or the Command key if you're on a Mac, plus the period to move forward, or the Control plus comma or Command plus comma to move backwards. So if I hold down my Control key or my Command key and hit period, I can quickly move to the next line in my code that contains an error. And you can just keep hitting that, and essentially some of these errors are existing because we broke constructor. So it's not always going to take us to the line that contains the actual error, so we need to be aware of that as we're programming, of course. For example, here pair doesn't work because pair doesn't compile. But that's one way. We can move forward hitting Control plus the period, or we can move backwards hitting Control plus comma. And you can continue to loop through that way. So you don't need to use the mouse key in order to move from error to error. So of course now we need to restore our code, so we need to start fixing things so that we have this working again the next time, since we did make some saves. So let's change the constructor back, hit Control period, and go to the next error. That's not an error we need to fix. That is, save it every time that we create a fix so that we can continue to have code that hopefully will compile here very quickly. So I'll need to move into my pair file in order to repair that. So Control period takes me to the constructor line error, save that, and hopefully we see now that as we have fixed our code, it looks like all of our problems or our errors have gone away. And that wraps up our quick look at how we can use some keyboard shortcuts to move between errors using the next and previous Control plus period or Command plus period and Control plus comma or Command plus comma.